Surprise.
Surprise, surprise, y'all. We back. Welcome to it. I'm BZB.
I'm Adrian.
I am Danae.
And this is But
Actually,
Decent. The podcast.
Where
Well,
we
yeah,
you got it.
We are three millennials just talking about stuff. Okay. Is that what we said? Yeah. Three millennials talking about stuff. Come
whatever's
talk
on
about
our
some
mind.
stuff with us. Whatever is on our mind. Whatever comes up, whatever's on our mind.
Mm-hmm.
I love
How
that.
y'all doing?
I'm doing good. I saw Sinners for Another Time. And on the second watch is even more powerful. So I'm doing real good. I'm feeling real pro-black. My brother and sister.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You saw it
FBA,
today?
proud FBA.
Oh.
I saw it today at an IMAX, and let me just tell y'all, if you go into a theater, and they say like, Imagine is by us, they have EMX, or like Marcus is also by us, so it says DLX. That's not the same as IMAX
or DMX
or
IMX.
Right.
Immature.
SWV.
Or 3LW.
Right.
None of those are the same.
B2K.
Who just had a reunion, and I
you
would
were
have
supposed
died.
to keep it going.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to think of acronyms. It was
Yeah.
it was a blank up here.
I was about to say
It was a blank.
Freestyle Unity.
No,
I was gonna say
Oh.
Boys to Men, but that didn't go with the acronyms.
Nah.
TLC.
we did good. TLC.
We did good.
Yeah.
We did good. We did good.
TLC. Flow with Tree.
Wow.
But yeah, B2K and IMX, it's not the same as IMAX. It's not the same thing. So yeah, you gotta see.
What did you see it one each?
Yeah. I saw one regular at a bigger screen, which I thought it was going to be like this immersive experience. And this is what actually Ryan Coogler said. People think of IMAX as just a big picture, but it's the sound too, though. It's a difference. It was I heard stuff I ain't heard before in that IMAX, in that B2K. What'd you say, brother 8?
Who said this?
Ryan Coogler. He's the director of Sinners, of the movie that everybody is talking about, which for the second weekend has gotten, I believe, even more money than the first weekend. 48 million first weekend, second weekend like 56 million. Who said this?
Come on, Ryan Coogler.
What did he say? I said,
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
He said A to Z chicken wing.
A to Z chicken wing.
I haven't been learning.
Wow. And who is Ryan Coogler?
Groogler.
Wait,
Ryan Gouyer.
What is it for real? I'm not being funny. What is it for real? Ryan.
What is what?
Coogler.
COOGLER. Or, as he would say.
Or. Double O.
Double O.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So before we move on, make sure that y'all follow us at Instagram, on Instagram at ButActuallyDecentPod, YouTube at Pod and Color, TikTok, ButActuallyDecent, Facebook, ButActuallyDecent the podcast, and Spotify, ButActuallyDecent the podcast. So yeah.
So generally, if you just say "but actually decent," then you'll find us, except for on YouTube, where we are Pod and Color on YouTube.
Right.
We might be switching that around soon, but maybe not. How was your weekend, Adrian?
How was my weekend? Good. The first thing that come to mind, I had my new members' graduation at church Sunday. So I'm excited about that.
Congrats.
I don't think I did nothing else. I bought a piece of furniture. So I'm excited about that.
An ottoman,
what was it?
Perhaps?
No, I have an ottoman already, which is grateful. It can't shut up.
Fancy, too fancy for me.
A fireplace, TV stand thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It's like
kind of hot.
Pretty grown up. Pretty grown up.
I'm sorry, I'm on one tonight.
I see.
Clearly.
You must have one of those blue But so that was my weekend. I don't think I did nothing else. That's all that come to mind. What about you, Nate? What you do?
What about you, Nay?
I did nothing on Saturday morning and mostly throughout the day. Saturday night, we celebrated my Uncle Kim's 70th birthday party.
Happy birthday, Uncle
Wow.
Happy birthday,
Kim.
Uncle Kim.
Happy
That was
birthday.
a time. We had fun. Um, and Sunday, Dolce had to go to the groomer. He's up to my tricks. He knows that I'm drugging him
Yeah.
now. And so there was a fight. A fight ensued in order to get him down to the groomer, but he looking better. And then my sister moved.
Oh.
So we did a good old Costco trip and got some stuff. And then I came on home.
Congratulations, Sean.
Yeah,
Can we say
congrats.
names? I always get that wrong.
Congrats to the
Congrats.
sister.
Yeah.
The sister. Right on, my sister.
Right. Our. So yeah, it was a slower weekend, which I'm grateful for because
You need
I
those
needed
sometimes.
to slow myself down.
Those are always
Hoping to have another one this next weekend.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
B.
No, that's right. Oh, yeah, my weekend was cool. We went to my mother's like childhood church because she was able to preach there. And after seeing Sinners, it just made me look at the Black experience, specifically African American experience, Black in America experience, so much deeper. And I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
they just was really, because it's on the north. It's like it's north. And I was just like, wow. Like my grandfather went there, my grandmother went there. I'm like, man, how did y'all find y'all way? So eventually we have to
Great
do an
migration.
episode about the Great Migration, my sister. We got to do an episode. And you know what? We often talk about people that made it to New York and Chicago and California, but I wonder how those people was feeling that just decided to stay. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like they don't get talked about at all. You
Yeah.
know,
They stayed down there. I
they
had an Uber
stayed.
driver this weekend who told me he was from Mississippi. He was like born and raised in Mississippi. And I was like, well, how you laying here? He was like, I just got tired.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. But he said his mom and them was still down there. He go down there like 6 times a year. I'm like, from Mississippi to Chicago has to be like a completely different world. And it is.
Completely. Yeah.
He said I
My
just got tired.
He just got
Just got
tired.
tired. My grandfather is from Mississippi and came up to Michigan, small town in Michigan. So, and he was the only one of his brothers and sisters that was like, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying in Michigan. I'm going on to Chicago. He was the only one that went to Chicago and was like,
Oh,
I grew
wow.
up in a small town. I'm not trying to be here, because he went to the army. So he's like, I'm not trying to, I done travel. I'm not trying to be here. Let's go. I gotta go. And he was the only one that went. Wow, that's really deep. So coming
That
on up.
is. And I feel like that also has some content that we could revisit for
Oh,
another
absolutely.
episode. 'Cause, woo.
Man. Yeah, I'm
But
just saying,
like, I feel like you're thinking about all of this stuff because of Sinners. Because
I absolutely am.
what
I
a
absolutely
great
am.
movie. I hope everybody out
I
there
can't
has
say
gone to watch.
I
But if
can't
you
say enough
haven't,
about it. True cinema.
It's unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like, who comes up with this? Obviously, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
But it's a brilliant. Adrian, are you gonna go see it?
And I'm not just saying
Now,
I really do want to go see it.
Because that
No, because I just don't. I don't want to be in a hot seat because I didn't know who Ryan Coogler was. But
that's okay. It's okay. You unless you like kept up with him or knew his movies and stuff, you wouldn't know. A lot of people don't be knowing who. A lot of people don't know who directors are. Who. They don't know who directors are, so I'm just a film nerd a little bit. So
I don't
So
feel like
yeah.
I had ever heard him speak until this most recent press run, and he is Compton through and through, clearly.
Well, he from the Bay.
With the Bay, LA,
I'm sorry. I'm
very,
sorry. He
very
from
hard
Oakland. Sorry.
R's.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, he from
Oakland.
Oakland. But yeah, Oakland. Yeah.
Ain't
Very,
Oakland the
very.
Bay?
No,
San
no.
Francisco is the Bay.
San Francisco is the Bay. Tell me
Okay.
when to
Okay.
go. The
Okay.
Yay area. Yay. Yeah. Shout out to
Wow.
my Yay area.
Go see Seneschal. Uh,
Oh
Adrian,
man.
you got wellness?
I don't know. I don't know. I just got lost in that little
Yeah.
whatever
You
that
know
was.
what?
Was
Yeah.
it before or after the yee or the yay area?
Oh, before. Oh, just
Okay.
that. Yeah, yeah. Um,
That's hilarious.
yeah. That is a very true statement, but it just came back to me. A suggestion that I want to make. That I have been doing, which is it's a little draining, honestly, but I think it's necessary. Um, get those thoughts out, like without judging yourself. And if that looks like journaling, if that looks like a voice note, if that looks like if you can talk to somebody about it, but like get them out because the longer they sit in our head, they just fester. And so if we
Yeah.
release it, that'll maybe take the power away. And so we gotta release them thoughts. And that's been a lot with me lately. And not even in a bad way, but just you know what? I gotta get this out. Whether it's journaling or like I said, voice notes or something like that. So that's a suggestion. Life be lifing. And you know, you may not. I know a problem I be having sometimes is expressing how I feel because it'll be so much going on I can't get it out. But you got to release it. You got to release it because it's not going to get any better. So that's just my suggestion, my wellness suggestion that I use that I would hope help somebody to be a better version of them, more improved version, if you will.
And if you can't go to Bella Noche, then where the
Where
hell
to
can you go?
go?
If you can't be real with yourself, then who can you be real with?
Yeah.
But I think that'd be the hardest person to be for a lot of people to be real with. You
Oh,
know,
see,
but
that's what I mean.
step on out of that also.
Yeah, that's something.
Come out
That is
of
something. That
No.
is something.
that.
I'll
What is your favorite way to get it out, Adrian?
voice notes.
Mm.
And then something I do, and it's not I don't do that often because I do it a couple of times a month maybe, but because it's hard because I'll record that night and then typically on my way to work or something, I'll play it and then kind of like let that sit with it or whatever and like think about it and journal about it. And then I have moments where it'd be like, I just got to write something. So I got like a work journal. But again, getting the thoughts out. So that's how it works for me. That could be a lot for some, but that's what works for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for sharing.
That's my jam. AMP.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, we could get actually straight into the episode. Chef Nay, whoop whoop. Yeah.
Whoa, that came quick. All right. So I asked the B and the A to watch a show.
I'm trying to hold it together.
So today's show is inspired by the sci-fi anthology series called Black Mirror. It comes on Netflix. It is actually in season 7. And something that's like not funny, it's not funny, but they took a long break. Like there haven't been new episodes in a very long time because they did not want to put out anything during the pandemic because they said like it's already crazy enough.
Yeah.
It's already crazy enough. We not about to add to the plate because some of the stuff that you see on Black Mirror, although it's like often like a simulation or it's like obviously real life people, but a lot of the ins and outs of like what's actually happening in these dystopian futures are things that you could see how we end up there, but also it's just
Mhm.
like, ooh, I hope we don't end up there because technology is just moving fast. So my first question to y'all is, how familiar were y'all with Black Mirror in general? Had you ever watched it?
B, you can go first.
I've heard of it, and especially about it being a Netflix like classic, and it has a very big, I would say, cult following, but I never watched any episodes before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrian?
I watched a couple because you ruined me before and told me to
Really?
watch
Wow.
one, and it just I was at my sister's house and I was like, "You wanna MF?" That's the closest way I could say it without saying it, and she was like, "Yeah." I said, "So watch this," and I put it on, and like when it went off, she was like, "What was that?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." So
Yeah.
yes. So I'm not.
I'm
I'm
scared to
not.
go back.
Yeah. That
Mhm.
episode, I was like, Janae is on drugs.
Wow. Thanks. Uh so yeah, basically again, the show is like showing the impacts that technology can have on society
Woo.
if we don't shape up, right? So season 7, episode 1 was the episode that I asked you all to watch. It was called Common People. What were you thinking going into the episode? Did the title give you anything? Did
I didn't
like
even look at that. That's funny.
yeah, okay.
I could tell you what I wasn't thinking. Nothing that happened. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so they got all right, they're a couple and they're married and they want. I was like, okay, cool. And then, like, as it went on, I was like,
It
wait.
started out so simple, right? Common people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the episode basically, like, what I gathered was that there's kind of three main things that they want us to look at: um, technology, healthcare, and
Mm.
capitalism.
Mm.
Um,
You deep, girl.
and
She
oh,
is.
You deep as fuck.
You know, she went to college.
shut
Like
up.
Mark.
And kind of what happens when you start like commodifying things like life, right? Like, so I'm gonna kind of go through
Come on.
what. Jesus
She
Christ!
said
How
Hamadas.
we gonna
What she
do
said?
this?
I was like, her mother fried rice.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Commod selling things like life.
Oh, okay.
So
Why didn't you just say that?
there we go. There we go. So the two main characters. Jesus.
sorry.
Jesus. Help us, Lord.
Sorry. Okay, two main characters. I apologize. Go.
Two
Two
main
main characters.
characters are Amanda and Mike. Amanda is played by Rashida Jones, Quincy daughter. And then Chris O'Dowd, which I've seen him in different things.
Yeah.
And it's a wild ride. So we got this husband and wife duo. They are very much so in love, Amanda and Mike. Early on, they established that their anniversary is very important to them, June 5th. So they always would go to like a resort. Um, if that's what you want to call it. It was very, very much so a hole in the wall, but it was special to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda was a teacher of little kids. And then Mike worked on some kind of
Like a crane construction.
yeah, some kind of construction site.
Yeah.
And so just your normal couple, right? So Amanda, very early on is we see that she's going through some health issues, right? So like she's always complaining about these headaches. And one day in front of her class, she just passes out. And they get her to the hospital. And there she's like all hooked up to things, and they find out that she has an inoperable brain tumor. And ultimately she's like dying. And so when you're watching these Black Mirror shows, like things tend to move fast, or it seems like things are very bizarre or like extreme. But I think that's kind of the point, to
Yeah.
get people to like see it in its most like craziest form. Um, So as Mike got the call at work, he goes to go see what's going on with his wife. As they are basically telling him like, yeah, this is it for her. But we do have a service that we can offer. And we see Tracy Ellis Ross is also in this episode. Her name is Gaynor, and she works for a company called Rivermind Technologies. Rivermind Technologies is basically a program that will allow, I'm just kind of skirting through this, that will allow Amanda to stay alive. Obviously, there's a payoff. But basically her brain will be cloned and attached to a server, and then that would allow her to stay alive. Again, remember this is all fiction, but maybe not. So
so
question.
we think.
Right. Amanda and Mike were forced to make a difficult choice, which was literally life or death. And actually, Amanda didn't even know what was just too much going on because she was transitioning on her way out. So Mike really kind of made the decision. Um, so my question to you all, do you have a piece of technology in your life that is great, but also a little scary because of what it is capable of doing?
I think my phone is the first thing that comes to mind.
Tell
Yeah.
me more.
Because I feel like you can do everything with your phone, and like there's ways that you can get, obviously you can pay for stuff, you can unlock your house with your phone, you can get a ride with your phone, you can get groceries with your phone, you can see your family and friends face to face, you can get your heart rate monitored on your phone. It can tell you how much you've been asleep on your phone. So it's like a bunch of different things. So I feel like that's a bunch of different portals, honestly, for some crazy stuff. But we be on it because
And
I
can't
be
live without it.
Can you live without it? No,
Oh,
you
we on the
can't.
same page, my sister. Okay, all right.
Yes.
I'm
What
a, you know
about you,
what?
B?
I'm gonna say, unfortunately, my car, because I do
Mm,
drive one of them I drive a laptop, basically. I heard
mhm.
somebody say that. But I also I also have insurance through that South African man as
Mm.
well. So uh
Gee, I'm
I drive
glad
a
you ain't
Tesla
gonna
for anybody that don't know.
match.
But anyway, yeah, it's the amount of information that they know about me, like where I go, how close I was to stopping to like a stop sign, or like all of my habits of driving, what I charge up to and all of that stuff. I think that's a little scary. But
Yeah,
I feel
definitely
like
being
I've
watched.
definitely being watched, but I especially feel like e- especially now in 2025, like even though we are scared of what our phones can track, what's the alternative? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's made we're at a point of no return, unfortunately. That's what I think. Because in order
Yeah.
for us to go back to to flip phones or something like that, it's like, bro, who is about to do that?
Right,
How do I
right.
Apple Pay on this? What's going on?
Do you know how
Can't
long
do
it'll
a
take you to
thing.
text somebody?
T9, baby.
Oh my god.
T9, yes. Making up words. That's kind of what autocorrect is, but just
Mm-hmm.
different.
It's
Yeah.
a whole generation of people that don't know what T9 is. They don't even know what we talking about. They don't know what we referring to.
No idea. That's
Wow.
their problem, but whatever. Um, I said Alexa. Oh,
I'm sorry that I got on headphones.
right, because
They're always listening.
they know everything that comes in or out of your home, right? Especially if you are ordering things through there,
Yeah.
just everything that we ask. Like, I don't, you know how some people just kind of like carry on or like they really do a lot of things through their Alexa. I'm not to that degree, but it still will be like, would you like to put on Tony Braxton radio? Oh,
How
girl,
you
you
think
know I was in the
you
mood for
got too much dip
Tony.
on your chip,
Okay,
Leslie?
like you was just too much in my stuff. But then also like it'll ask like, do you need dog food? So it's just when you think about 20 years ago, we
Mm-hmm.
probably could not, and we aren't that old, right? We
10
probably could
years
not
ago.
imagine that one device, yeah, our phones, sure, but like something else in your home could predict the kind of ads that you get. And like, there's just so much that we've kind of signed away through
Yeah,
having a lot of these devices.
for sure.
And just
It's a little scary once you think
a
about
little
it.
concerning, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the world we live in.
You speaking of thinking back 20 years ago, you put me on to Waze and like I love it. And but it knows when it's time for me. Like if I cut the GPS on Sunday morning, it's gonna say go into the valley.
Yeah.
Or
Going
if I
to, yeah.
get leave work and I push it say going home. Like
Uh-huh.
and it that's
But
yeah,
our
yeah.
phones do that too. Our
Mm-hmm.
phones will be like, it's such and such minutes to get to
Yeah.
work. And
Danae is
I don't even
2.5 miles
use
from you. Why
I
do you
don't
do
even
that?
use Google Maps. I don't even have a Google Maps app on my phone, and it's still
Yeah.
whatever. So like, Brian, I know you the tech person. Like, I don't know how this
Mhm.
happens, but clearly we are all giving up our information. So back to the show.
All right.
Um where we
It
again
just
give up more information.
wait. It just remind me of like when the TikTok ban was happening and people signing up for Red Note. I don't know. So it was another app that was in. It was in Chinese. All of it was in Chinese, and people were signing up. They was like, "Y'all don't know, y'all don't know what y'all signing up for. Y'all about to be in the
You
Chinese war. Like y'all be about to
right.
be in the Chinese army." It's like,
You
and they
just
like,
signed away your oldest male child.
right. And it's like, but if I get to listen to the dances, learn how to do the dances,
Right.
Right.
then I'm cool with it. Then.
Mm.
Which this is just all
This
themes
is
from the episode, right?
yeah.
So again, the tech company Rivermind is replacing a part of Amanda's brain with synthetic tissue that's basically connected to the cloud, and that is what's going to keep her alive,
Which
right?
sounded crazy the first time
Which
she
was
said that.
nuts.
What?
And then Tracy Ellis Ross showed, or Gaynor showed Mike a picture of her after she got into a really bad accident. And so
Right.
she herself is living proof that Rivermind works. The only negative that like side effect that they shared was that she's gonna sleep a little more.
Yeah. An hour
And
or two.
an
Right.
hour, right? An hour or
Sleeping
two,
12
right?
hours.
And she has to stay within the coverage range. But when
Mhm.
it was being sold to them or explained to them, it was the coverage range is expanding. Like, look at our map.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
This is, where our towers
Girl, this
are.
ain't T-Mobile.
Right. US
Exactly.
Cellular.
Right.
Prime call.
Prime call.
Had her going. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
said
Go ahead.
USA.
Go
That's
ahead. Go
funny.
ahead.
So of course, this all sounds fine and dandy. We get down to pricing, right?
Mhm.
So now Gainer lays it on them that basically the surgery is free, but maintaining her functionality is going to be a subscription
Mhm.
of $300 a month.
Mhm.
And so obviously, that was a financial burden that they needed to figure out how to make it happen. She's a teacher, he's a construction worker, like they just were check to check people like most of
Yeah.
America, right?
Like most of
So
America. Yeah.
trying to find that extra 300 here or there, initially, sure, you could pull it off. But you see on the show, like just kind of as time went on, how much overtime Mike was having to work like every week. He was just full of overtime.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Amanda is sleeping in. She was still going to work at this point.
Mhm. Yeah.
But she was
Making
just
them kids
moving,
cry.
moving really, really, really slow. So now it's about a year later. They're about to celebrate their anniversary. And Mike is like, let's go back to our resort. So as they're driving, just talking about what they're going to do on their anniversary, they get outside of the coverage range and Amanda literally
Mm.
dies. Like,
Yeah.
did she?
Her body took a screenshot for sure.
She was talking and then just like went limp. Um, and so Mike started panicking. He turns around to try to get her to the hospital. I don't even think it connected to him that like they were out of range. He was just trying to get her to the nearest hospital and saw that when he turned around and they got back within the county, I think it was.
Yeah.
She woke back up and had no idea what even happened to her. So
Right. She said, "Why are you driving so fast? Slow down."
But I
right.
think Mike, what Mike did do, because remember when they went to the office and
Yeah.
then Tracy Ellis Ross was like,
Range.
"Oh, you were out of the range." So
Right,
he said
right.
he looked it up, but then she was like, "The towers."
They was doing updates on their tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he was,
that's what said. We upgraded the towers,
Mhm.
and basically the spot that they were traveling to was kind of in between, and it
Buffer.
wasn't right. She just started buffering. But guess what? We're introducing Rivermind Plus, and if you do that, you can travel. And you
For
could,
sure.
you
More
got
coverage.
more access to the world. You got more coverage. What does this sound or feel like so far?
Netflix. No, I don't know.
Which is ironic. You're right.
Because it's on
you're right.
Netflix.
No, for real. But Rivermind Plus is going to come with an additional cost, like generally upgrades do. And so now not only is it a $300 a month, the upgrade is an additional $500 a month. So
put
we
them at
went from a
$800.
$300 obligation to keep her alive to now $800. And there's no haggling here. These are non-negotiable prices.
They do
So
not take after pay.
either that or she
They'll
just
take
gonna be
Klarna.
limp. They don't take Klarna.
They do not take Klarna.
Affirm none of them. Okay.
Affirm.
Yeah. So
Pay
back to
later,
the
something.
board. Mike's working, doing all this, working overtime. But soon they notice that something weird is going on with Amanda, where she will just like start giving advertisements. Like it's something that you have to watch. Like I know this sounds so bizarre. It's like the X-Files or something.
Yeah.
But she's just in the middle of conversation, and it seems like when she acknowledges something, she goes into an advertisement about it. So like the coffee, they sat and had coffee together each morning. And then she just like started speaking about a brand. It was like, have you tried whatever espresso coffee? It's the most whatever.
Makes it smooth and rich.
Right. And Mike was like, no, I've never had that. And she again had no idea. So it starts to
She's like, what are you talking about?
Like,
yeah,
what is it? Yeah.
She was teaching, which by the way, when y'all were little, did y'all have a unit in elementary school about bees or penguins or meerkats?
I can't remember.
You probably did. I feel like that was of the time. But they were learning about bees in her classroom. And so she started talking about honey nugs, a special kind of cereal. And then her students were repeating things back that she was saying in class.
Right.
She knew nothing about.
Where it started to turn, like where it's all fun and games. Okay, whatever, honey nugs and coffee. But then one of the little boys in her class was talking to her about an argument that his parents had gotten into, and she went into an ad about faith-based therapy and Christianity.
Right.
And the little boy, of course, because she was a great teacher, the little boy was just like, okay. So like she had shared a website with him and everything involuntarily, and it just was coming out. And then he walked away, but obviously he went home and told his mama, and it started getting back to the school that she was like dropping these ads. The most funny of these ads were when her and Mike was knocking the boots, and she started talking about thirst trap lube, and it like ruined the mood, obviously. And then she started talking about erectile dysfunction medicine. So it's like everything that will come to her mind now starts coming out as an ad. And so that was clearly jeopardizing how she was showing up in all these different places. So they go back to go see Gaynor. In order to suppress the ads, they say you gotta upgrade again. So question. How do you feel about, and we see a lot of this on our social media and just different places, how do you feel about the pervasive marketing that we see in all of our phones all the time and all these different places, and how it might impact your future or like your kids, or just like kind of the direction that we're heading because of technology? What is that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really really crazy because it's always been like a running joke for us to say like, our phones listening to us, but it'll really be instances where you like, I did not type that in.
What
I
is that?
literally did not type it in. Yeah, it's like it's I think it's connected to SIRI. I don't want to say it because I don't want to make everybody phone go off, but and it always listening for the voice, and somehow that's tied into like stuff that you say, and then it brings it through like Google or something like that. You can't tell me that it's like both. It's two sides of the same coin. It's
But what
just
about the things that you just think and then they show up?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Black Mirror,
happening?
man, in real life. I don't
I'm
know. I
sorry.
can't explain that with my sister.
I know.
I
I
can't
know. I'm
explain
not.
that
I'm not
one.
asking you to. It's just like it blows my mind.
Yeah,
Has
it's
that ever happened
crazy.
to you, Adrian? Where it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have, and it's like I work for an intermodal company, and I looked at one thing. You would think I was going to CDL school tomorrow. I was like, I don't care how you work out as a truck driver. I don't care. And then it just be showing. Then I go on Google and it's like, have you seen these new trucking boots? And I'm like, I don't even drive trucks. Like what? So it just it'd be weird stuff. But even if you have conversations about it, and then you go to your Instagram and on your For You page, there it is, something you
yeah,
discussed. So yeah, I've seen it, and I just think that's just
it's
you know,
creepy.
you gotta stay ready. Oh yeah, stay ready so you have to get ready.
Us just going both for our water bottles at the same time was a little Black Mirror-ish. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little
Oh,
creepy. That was a little
between this and Sinners, look, I got my good eye on everybody
Listen, if I see
because I didn't
I don't
tell
want
you
to
to
get no
come in
spoilers.
here.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. I don't want to get no spoilers. All I'm saying, if I see somebody river dancing, I'm okay, and that's just
No,
you might get tackled. I'm just
I got
saying.
a
All right.
story, but that's for after we get off. What subscriptions do you all have that you upgraded for convenience, or
How much time you
like
got?
I let's hear them. Let's
I
hear
got
them.
Paramount and there's no ads. Netflix
Mm,
no ads. Amazon Prime no ads. Uh yeah, we
Netflix
got
got
like
ads.
Hulu no ads. Now they do.
mhm.
Oh
And you can't share it, which is,
yeah.
yeah, I think Spotify no ads. And then that's
Yeah.
about it, I think.
I mean,
I'm sure I'm missing
what's
something.
left? What's left?
BT Plus,
Right,
TLC
exactly.
Plus, Discovery.
You got Zeus.
Nah,
Zeus no
now
ads.
I don't. I'm the wrong
Zeus
person to
don't
ask
have
about
ads.
that.
No
Okay,
ads for Zeus.
that's good. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna pay for no ads when I can.
Yeah,
Um, even going back to Pandora. If you if you still playing music on Pandora, which if you are,
hot take.
listen.
Hey, I play Pandora faithfully,
You better not have no ads. But that's our problem. Look at that. Look how quick.
but it's
Just just for a little bit of not having to be bothered with commercials, we'll pay a little extra. And I get that, but like, oh, it just plays into all that we see in this show. And that's
but
It
like,
I'm
does.
just
yeah.
I would just be caught up in it because it's hard. Like the reason I got YouTube Premium was because
Ooh.
I did like a 21
YouTube.
day, like it was like a meditation something. And when I first started, I was like, "Are you aware of that?" So now I'm
Right.
jumping up and
Yeah.
so then I'm like, "Okay, I got to get." So
But
now
that's
when
what they play on, though.
and
That's
it worked.
exactly what they
I
play
was
on,
like,
and it
"Oh,
worked.
you know what? Let me get that.
Exactly.
This is so much better." I go to my mom. Oh, no shade, but she gonna play her music, and I be like, "You can use like mine." She be like, "What? Ain't
But do
nothing wrong
you
with a
think
commercial." Yes, it
but
is.
do you think that that is an age thing?
Mhm.
Like, because we are younger, we just don't got time to deal with no commercials. Like, do you think our
You
brains
saying
are developing in a way that's so different than like our parents' age that the idea of having to watch something like an ad is just so yucky to us that I just throw a couple of extra dollars on it in order not to. Like, what do you think that
Mhm.
is? Why are we like this?
Well,
You got
I could. Yeah, go ahead.
no. Go.
I was just gonna say we're of the like the generation of convenience. You know, it's like at an all-time high. Like the type of conveniences that we have, our parents couldn't even pay for because it wasn't even a thing at all. Like we could get our groceries delivered, you know what I'm saying? We could call a car real quick. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All of these things. So it's like if you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. Because
Right.
it's so many options. It's like convenience
You
and
could somebody
options.
can do it for you.
You know,
Literally.
the options are
Mhm.
crazy right now, you know. So yeah, I think that's
Do
what
you
it's a
know they
product
have
of.
a live? And I can't think of the name of it, but essentially it's a nanny for the dogs.
Mm.
Through Lyft? Did you say Lyft?
No, I said a nanny for the
Oh.
dogs. That's a thing,
Yeah.
and I just learned about that, and I was like, so when you talk about convenience, like they don't even want to watch.
Listen,
You don't even want to watch your dog.
but as we see on the show, if you got a little money, you could get anything.
Yeah.
You can get somebody to come watch your eggs in the refrigerator if you want to. Like if that's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is because like I have family that when you're taking an Uber, they like, "Oh my god, you about to get in the car with somebody." It's
Mhm.
like, I do this all the time. I
Mhm.
do this very
Drunk as a
often.
skunk.
But it's really difficult for some people to open their minds to like that level of convenience or
Yeah.
that level of just like maybe it's a lack of control, like somebody else driving you is something that people don't necessarily
Mhm.
want to do. I think our parents are of that ilk that like I'm getting myself from point A to point B, and I don't need. Had to ride in an Uber with my granddaddy one time, and it was the funniest experience because he kept trying to give him money, and I was like,
It's
"He
not how this
has
works.
been paid," and trying to tell him where to go. I said, "Why don't you sit back and be quiet and let this
Just be
man do
quiet.
his job?" But it's just so like that's a level of technology that is still emerging, I think, for older
Mhm.
folks. Yeah.
I remember one of my old neighbors when I lived in Oak Line. He was an older guy, and so it was some Uber Eats by the laundry room. And remember, the laundry room was like off the parking or
Mhm.
whatever. So I went and knocked on his door. I'm like, did you order Uber Eats? He was like, Uber Eats? I don't need nobody to bring me my food. I was like, I was just
Seriously,
asking.
sir.
Because if not, I'm about to take it.
Yeah.
But and he was like, man, I wish I would pay. You gonna pay somebody? They drinking out your cup. I said, oh God. But again, like you said, that generation they didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't know
But
that.
it's a fine line because my grandma will order her a Frosty, and that's it.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Because
Cause
she
Yeah.
just like being able to
that's
just get
cool
and I'm like,
though.
you paying $20 for that Frosty because you got one item. And
And
but
she got it from the
hey,
one on 87.
she want what she want.
Wait, but you know what? Also, I feel like that's a thing of marketing too, because marketing is going to tell you they're going to only market the literal best parts. And but when you really sit back and think about it, he's like, this is actually a horrible idea. It's like why would I pay an extra $50? I remember I think I had a coupon, I had a gift card for Cheesecake Factory, and I didn't want to leave. So it's $25, mind you. I wanted a slice. I think I wanted entree and a slice of cheesecake. Probably would have been about $27 or something like that. When they was going to deliver it, it was like $50.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of this? What's going on, bro? How does
The
this
word,
even?
because when you look at the math, let's talk about it, because you put your stuff in the cart. I got Uber One, so like it'd be like free delivery or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it'd be like crossing stuff off. And my thing is, why is it still more at the end? Like if you just got rid of the tax, you got rid of the delivery fee, you got rid of whatever, it's still more. And that's before I even get to my tip. And everybody, when y'all are ordering Uber Eats, when it gets to the part where they ask you for your tip and it gives you the percentage thing, look at the amount that they ask you to tip off of. Because generally it's way more. Like, I don't know if they ask you to tip off of what it is minus all of whatever coupon codes or whatever discounts you got, but the numbers are vastly different. So I am pretty sure there's going to be a class action lawsuit
And
because
they
they
count
taking
on
our
that
money.
too. Yeah, they count on that just to press continue and so you can get your food stuff quick.
Yeah, just hurry up and get what you need. But yeah,
Not what you need.
so back to the show. Again, you're starting to see the extra work like wearing on Mike, right? Like he was this fun loving guy in the beginning. Now he's like
missing a tooth.
Coming home. That's not yet. He like coming home and going straight for the refrigerator looking for beer. And Amanda over here telling him, now we gotta pay for my life. So don't be drinking all them beers.
Right.
Like,
let's go easy on it for a little bit.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to keep you alive. I'm working like a Hebrew slave. And you can't even let me have a beer. So
and she be knocked out when he be leaving for work.
Sleep.
Knocked out. He be brushing his teeth.
Ain't budge. So Mike has a friend from work named Shane who just happened to be in the office one day watching something called Dumb Dummies, which that made me laugh. Dumb Dummies is basically TikTok or like people going live.
Twitch, yeah.
Right. Twitch, yeah. People going live doing humiliating stuff to get money for people that are watching, right? So it was a guy on there and I forget what they even asked them, but just stupid stuff. They're asking people to do, they drop you a little money, which again is like that what's that girl? I feel like it was a combination of all of those things, because like even at the end, I'll get to that, but at the end he said he was doing privatized work in order to like get money for her or whatever. So he starts doing dumb dummies, like getting on there and doing silly stuff so he could get money in order to continue to pay for all of the fees.
Is that love?
That actually is one of my questions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That actually is one of my questions. It's coming. So they're going back again. She's sleeping like crazy. They're going back to Gaynor. She tells them Plus is now actually the standard version, and then Premium is just common. And so now you need to get into this Rivermind Lux, which is like they did like a little mini commercial. It's $1,000 a month, and now you have more control over like your senses and your emotions. You don't have any ads anymore, but like it's almost like you are attached to this app where you could say, okay, I need to put my sense of relaxation very, very high right now. You can control all of these things about your life. The funny part was that like the medical commercial, if you rewatch it, she was like, I just died because I got lipo. And it's like this skinny white girl that's like, girl. But it was just funny. Um,
The commercial ended with her doing parkour, jumping
Yeah.
all over these obstacles like a crackhead. What's going on?
because not only could you control your emotions, you could like borrow
Yeah,
skills from
from other
other
people.
people. So
That
now
was on
this
Love
is like
too.
making superhuman people.
This
So that's a
episode is
thousand
gonna
dollars a
disturb
month.
some people.
I don't care.
This is
Hey,
gonna disturb some people.
it's the truth.
It's so
Uh,
good, damn.
according to Black Mirror. And so Amanda's like, no, no, we're not
Yeah,
doing that. We could
no
barely
more.
afford this. But Mike is still like, he just want her to be happy. And that's so like that gets kind of to the what Adrian was asking, like, do you think that he was doing all of this out of love, or do you think that there was some kind of like duty or obligation that he felt to her since he kept her alive?
I didn't even think about that.
I
Wow,
haven't yet. But
that's
you know
deep.
what?
The second part though, because he
Yeah,
did keep her alive and decided to get this thing in her brain and stuff like that. Did he
right,
feel like
right.
he had to like keep her happy and all of this? I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I think he was doing it out of love though.
yeah, yeah. So things continue to get bad, worse. It went from worse to worse, sir. Um,
It's the worst.
and
What's that and what's that?
she she starts like another theme or something that happened throughout the show was that they were trying to have a baby, and so they would call like whatever, they were trying to have a baby, so they had this crib. I guess they had tried, maybe unsuccessful in the past, so they had a
Mm-hmm.
crib that was in their house that like was just kind of there for sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
But they were obviously hoping to one day
Have a
get
baby.
pregnant and have a baby
Mm-hmm.
in there. So now they had temporary boosters for the Rivermine Lux, and so
Mm-hmm.
he would buy these like 12-hour booster cards for her to be able to get just a little bit of feeling every now and again. And but he was towards the end, well actually pregnancy. They wanted to get pregnant. They go to sit down. I think this was at the same time when they were talking about Rivermine Lux. And Gaynor, Tracy Ellis Ross, is asking them, like, are you pregnant? You're not pregnant, are you? And Mike says, well, that is something we're interested in. And she says, well, pregnancy costs a little extra. So I suggest you don't do that. And Mike like flipped out. So like at this point, they are like fed up with it. But again, it's either go back to her
Yeah.
saying ads, go back to like
Yeah.
the basic like commercials, all of that, or try to find a way. So now again, he's like drinking liquor in the morning instead of coffee. They sold the crib. And Adrian, you brought this up. He sold one of his teeth.
No, I thought he. No, I thought he.
He did it on
Yeah,
Dumb
he pulled it
Dummy.
out. Yeah,
Oh,
he
he
did it on
did.
Dumb
Yeah.
Dummy.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
okay,
sure.
okay. So I guess he kind of did sell his tooth, but he was just doing weird. She called it weird tooth stuff. In order to keep her alive. So
Yeah.
now they're like kind of at the end of this. They're over it. And so he had bought a 30-minute card for her to experience a little Rivermine Lux. He gave it to her, and he just wanted her to be comfortable. But at this point, you could tell she was over it. And so
She
they put
looked
the
tired.
serenity up to max. They both looked a mess at this point. Her hair was
Yeah.
all stringy. I'm like, dang, she had so much life in her. And so they have like what kind of was an eerie conversation of her saying,
It's time.
It's time
Mhm.
for this to be done. Because my question is, would she have lived forever?
She would have been saying ads forever, probably.
As long as they could pay for it. Because they tried to go up there and try to see if they can get a little credit, but they was not playing with them.
Oh yeah, that's
aliens.
right. Because even the basic package was $300 a month.
Right, right.
So
And they had both lost their
while he
jobs
was
at that
out.
point. because and Mike lost his job because he was on Dumb Dummies and they posted a picture of him at work doing stuff, and so he just kind of lost it. So
and got that boy hurt too.
Yeah.
got that boy smashed over
Straight
and
up rolled over. Straight up.
rolled
What's his name on Don't Be a Menace South Central? Where drink it. Just remember when Low Dog them stomped him.
Yeah, they stomped him out. He looked like a cartoon.
Yeah. So episode ends with Mike basically suffocating Amanda to death, but he did it while she was in ad mode. So she was giving out one of her commercials. She actually asked him to do it while she was not.
She wasn't there. Yeah. Euthanasia.
Yeah,
is what that's called.
Yeah. So do y'all think that his final act on Dumb Dummies was the final act on Dumb Dummies?
Oh, wow. I was wondering why he went back in there.
Yeah.
But why did he have a box cutter though?
That's why he had a box cutter.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I thought he killed himself.
That's what she.
I thought you. I'm sorry. I missed. I thought you were saying as if he was still in the Dumb Dummy beard.
No. So that's what I concluded too, was that he was So what do you think the writers wanted us to learn from this? Or like, what did you learn?
Don't pay for Netflix with no ads. No. I think that we should be careful of kind of like what we consume, because people on Twitch and OnlyFans and stuff, they really doing some like really weird stuff for like clout or money. You know what I'm saying? And even when he went back to his job and they posted that picture on the board and stuff like that, once you go past a certain point, you can't be in the real world no more. You know what I'm saying? Not be treated regularly. Yeah. And that's what people don't really be understanding. Like, no, I was just doing it for views, and but like in real life, that's like, it's not okay. So,
and that was the thing too. He started out on Dumb Dummies with a mask on. Yeah. And then he took it off, and like it ain't no coming back from that. Like, you don't know who can see it, you don't know who can, respond, who's sending you money. Like, and how far people will go. I think people nowadays are crazy enough to send you money to kill yourself online. Like that's not. That didn't feel. I don't know. People are really bizarre.
They are.
What do you?
That's what the dark web is here for. Unfortunately.
Exactly. What did you learn, Adrian, from the episode?
I think I was going way deep with it, with the episode being common people, and then I questioned if they were only doing the same stuff. Like, nothing would have changed. They went to the same. They went to the same resort. They went to although it was that's nice, that's sentimental and stuff, but y'all literally remember the waitress name. Like, I feel like it was a thing of make some changes. Don't do the same stuff. Because I feel like even with her and like with school and how she was with the bills and how Mike was, it's like you did this, you sneezed at this time, you went to this at this time, like, and so that's what it gave me to be open to change. Because to me, they were not. And so even with them and how the same anniversary and the same stuff, and I'm not married, so I can't speak to that. But to me, just on the outside looking in, it's like, what if we change it up? What if we try and switch something up? And at least we got each other, because they was down for each other for sure. For each other, but
they were.
They were, and I don't know. Sometimes I question if Mike really was, or if Amanda really was, but because I feel like when she said, he told her he lost his job, and she said, So will we not be able to get? And it's like,
And
yeah, damn, the man just lost his job.
Yeah. But in her defense, okay, that mean I'm gonna die.
Mhm.
Like you supposed to
No.
have
But
me.
even when they were in the car and he was like, in something, we can't do that because you're asleep. And she's like, oh, so what you trying to say? I'm always asleep. I mean, she's like, I know I know that I'm always asleep, but I got the surgery, so it's like
Right.
I
Right.
can't be awake.
So it's all his fault. It's always the
Right.
man's fault. The crazy part was they said if she would have stayed on the first version of Rivermind, she would have been sleeping for 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
At that point,
Right.
what
Right.
we
What's the
doing?
point?
Can you
Yeah.
go ahead? Can we get a refund for these last
Right.
20 days? I'm gonna just go ahead and
Right. We did the trial period.
yeah, that's
You
enough.
you dead
I don't
anyway.
want to continue. Yeah, that was
16 hours a day that's a lot.
I feel
Yeah.
like 12 hours a day is still a lot.
12 is a lot.
Yeah. That is.
7 to 7. Oof.
That's insane. I don't even know what I would look like. I've done that. Like I've had days where I would wake up and go right back to sleep, but 12 hours straight.
But remember, she also said it wasn't good sleep. Like
Yeah,
Right.
what
She
there was
yeah.
wasn't
something
dreaming.
buzzing. She couldn't dream. Like it was
Mhm.
so many things that
And they were
like
doing something with the system, weren't they? With her mind
right.
because she was idle or
They
whatever.
was
So,
they was
Yeah.
using
It
her
was in sleep
mind.
mode. She was in
Yeah.
sleep mode.
she was on
Right.
D&D.
Uh-huh.
Barely.
But yeah, I think what I gather from it is like I said at the beginning, the things technology, healthcare, capitalism, like all of them kind of work together. And whatever there you could get anything if you have the means to get it. Now, what you do in
Mhm.
order to produce the means to get it, that's on you. But like there are options out there to obviously it's an extreme case, not keep you alive. But in
Mhm.
some cases, like there's access, right? Like they were common people that probably weren't the people that they should have targeted because they just didn't have it. And he asked that when Gaynor first told him about it and that there was a cost. He said, well, is it more than what we have? And ultimately, yes, it was, but you just try to find a way to get a little extra 50 here, a little extra 25 here. And before you know it, you didn't pulled your teeth out
Right.
and you looking crazy, putting a mousetrap on your tongue. But
Oh,
I
for
think there's a
$50.
lot for
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't even
$50.
getting no. He wasn't even. The only time he got real money was when they told him to take the mask off.
Yeah. Yeah.
$500.
Talking
And
about
that right there
$20,
is
you drink
crazy too.
tea.
Cause like
Excuse me.
now you've had to jump completely out of the boat. And like we said earlier, ain't no turning back. So I just really thought there was a lot to learn from this episode of Black Mirror. I did not. I know, Adrian, you kept watching some. I watched the next one and then I started. And Issa Rae is in it this season. She's in one of the episodes. Baddest episode that I didn't get a chance to finish. But I just think the concept of taking regular people and putting them in extreme situations because of technology, just like you said earlier, like will make you look at things differently. Does it help? Maybe not always. Like, is everybody watching Black Mirror with the same idea around
Right.
consumption and like technology? Probably not. So I think it's a if you know kind of thing, and people can just glean from it what they can. But common people.
I did watch that second episode and I had skipped it. I didn't realize
Mhm.
it, but I watched it today. So
With the candy girl.
uh-huh.
That was
Marie.
nuts too. Yeah. Yeah. So now everybody will be Black Mirror fan. Thanks.
Because
Well,
I'm gonna tune in tomorrow.
Yeah. Go
I'm
back
sure.
and watch.
tomorrow.
It's a couple of episodes. I texted to y'all a couple of episodes that I think were some of their better ones. I have not watched all of them because sometimes what you see in the thumbnail, it doesn't grab you. Now I'm
Mhm.
grabbed by anytime I see a black person.
Oh.
I'll give anything a chance with black. But then some of them I'm like, I don't want to see people in space. But I'm probably missing out. It's a good show.
Which I think it's a gap in like sci-fi
Yeah.
and horror for Black people, especially because it's some people who just won't even. It's some Black people, meaning me, that will see something sci-fi. I'm like, I mean, I'm sure it's phenomenal. However, I can't connect here. I don't know what's going on,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so give
Same.
our Black directors a chance because they could make something actually very interesting, and you like, oh wow, this is sci-fi. I didn't even think of that, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to get outside of just the regular old
Love and hip
rom-com,
hop.
sitcom realities. And I'm speaking
Zeus.
to myself.
Speaking to myself.
myself.
Now I will say to help disconnect because I do feel like we are disconnected a lot. It was this creator on Instagram, Tech Me Out, I think is her name. Really phenomenal creator. But she said that something that she does in the mornings is she turns her phone on gray mode because she notices that she's like addicted to her phone in the morning and she thinks it's because of the colors. It's like vibrant colors. It's like, oh, let me get on TikTok. But if you start seeing these things, if you start seeing TikTok and Instagram in like black and white, it's more prone to be like, let me just put my phone down because it's not even fun. So yeah, if you go to just real quick, if you go to the like your control thing or whatever, and then you can add a widget. You go to add control and then just search color filters. It's called color filters. It look like
Wait. Now you didn't move too fast.
Until oh my god.
Add a widget. All right, add a widget.
Wait, widget.
Okay, so long press on until you see these like additions and stuff. Go to the control center.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So long press just at a blank spot or whatever. Okay, and then you want to go down to the bottom, say add a control, and then search for. You can just put in color, and then you add the color one, and now when you press it,
where it says color filters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should just be a small one at the bottom.
Little 3 circles.
And then when you press it, it turns your phone. Yeah.
Wait,
so that's let's see yours.
Ooh, ugly.
Exactly. That make you want to put down your phone.
So I'm at this.
No. You want to just go straight down. I think you went over to the left. Take it back now, y'all. No, where you?
To the right.
Okay. Add a control.
Put your
right foot down. Put your left foot down. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out.
All right, while we trying to finish this, we'll see y'all later because we might be here for a while trying to figure out how to get a grave. No shade to Adrian.
No, that's just what it is.
No, it's not. It's complicated. So go on and watch that episode of Black Mirror, y'all. And, protect your neck from these people trying to get your money through this tech and through this healthcare, because they don't care about you being sick. They will copy your brain and make you sleep all day. Whoever they is.
They can't make you healthy because then they lose a customer. Hello. Exactly. Message.
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 All right, y'all.
See y'all on the next one.
Bye.
Oh.